Hello and welcome to Reggie's Recess, where you get real talk about real relationships. Of course, I am your host, C. Reggie Rogers, renowned relationship coach, author, television host, radio host, podcast host, and I've got I consider myself a singles empowerment coach. Now, when I say singles empowerment coach, my objective is to literally teach singles or empower singles what it means to become the one so that they attract. You know, breaking up really is so hard. Breakups are never easy for anyone. And so this month, we're going to be talking about It's Over, I'm Sick. So that was the thing that drew me to you, and I wanted to get some advice, some wisdom from you in regards to this dating process.
Yes.
I want to talk about it. We're going to talk. Hello and welcome to Reggie's Recess, where you get real talk about real relationships. Of course, I am your host, C. Reggie Rogers, number one relationship host, podcast host, television host, radio host, author, you name it. I try to fulfill it. I try to do it. So this month we have had an interesting conversation. It's been a great dialogue. It's what I call a delightful, delicious dialogue this month. We've been talking about, of course, being confident, being competent, and being comfortable. That is so important. But it all equates to being sexy, classy, and bad assy. Yep, that's right. I said bad assy because a badass woman is strong. She's confident. And she is a bold woman who knows her own mind. She's sexy. She's funny. She does what she wants. And she doesn't need anyone's approval because she is comfortable in her own skin. Confident, competent, and comfortable in your skin. I do my best every month to try to do, I shouldn't even say try because I don't even like that word. I do my best every month and I bring you the most provocative topics and the best guests. And I'm not going to let you guys down today. Last week we had some technical difficulties and my sister was supposed to be on last night, better known as Nicole Ivory Thomas. There she is. So my sister's here today. I got her in the studio with me today. And we're going to have what I call that delicious, that delightful dialogue. We're going to have some fun as we talk about confident, competent, and comfortable in your skin. So you're sexy, you're sassy, and you're classy, and you're bad assy. So we'll be back right after this commercial, and we're going to have some fun today.
Hi, I'm Ernest L. Thomas from the Waldens, and you need to download the Win Network app now, or else it's gonna be tragic. Tragic!
So if you have not already downloaded the Win Network, make it your business today. Download the Win Network. Download the Win Network by going to www.winnetwork.com thewinnetwork.com. It's right there, the Win Network. We're on Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Win Network. And as Rod said, if you have not downloaded yet, it's going to be tragic. So make sure you download the Win Network. So I got my sister, I got Nicole. You know, we couldn't get her here last week, but I got her this week. She is a what we call a connoisseur. She is a real estate connoisseur, a luxury real estate connoisseur. She is a luxury automobile connoisseur. So if it's not luxury, she doesn't deal with it. So I got Nicole today. What's up, Nicole?
How you doing?
You all right?
I'm well, thank you.
You having a good day?
A very good day.
It is?
Darn near flawless.
Flawless. I like it. Hey, so Nicole, listen, I didn't tell you to wear black. Why are you wearing black?
Great minds think alike.
Okay, I'll roll with that. Great minds do think alike. And by the way, you're looking very charming today.
Thank you. You as well, debonair as usual. Anybody who knows you know you always look debonair and handsome. You know?
Well, you know, I do my best. You know, I do.
Okay.
I do my best, Nicole. Nicole, listen, this month I've been talking about confident, competent, and comfortable in your skin. So if anybody knows you, I know you. I know you're confident. I know you are competent, and I know that you are comfortable in your skin. Move, yeah, there you go. Come up here. Because I need you to get close to that mic because we going to have this dialogue, and I don't need you shrinking back. I need you up close because I'm coming out the gates firing. Nicole, when I say confident, what does a confident woman look like to you?
I think a confident woman is a woman who's comfortable in her skin. Whatever hand is dealt to her, she's embracing it and she's owning it. And so when she walks in the room, you feel it, you see it, you hear it, and it's all silent. So being confident is not a look, a size, a pay grade, or a job title. It's a woman who knows who she is and don't need approval from anyone else.
Ooh, you came out the gates firing. You say she don't need approval from anyone else.
No approval.
Okay, but you said two things there, and that's like a dichotomy. I got to go back over it. It's a
Okay.
dichotomy for me because you said yes, she's very loud, but she's very silent. How is she loud and yet silent?
Moving in silence is what I like to say under promise and over deliver. People who talk a lot or portray a certain image, they usually can't deliver on who they are and what they're bringing to the table. But someone who comes in, you want to know who they are. People always want to know who I am. I walk in, they don't know me, they don't recognize me, but it's something about the aura that a confident woman has. People just want to know who they are. Who is that person? How come I don't know them?
Interesting, Nicole. I see we got some people over here in the chat talking to us. They said, you know, you two look great. Thank you, Yolanda. Yeah, she does make me look okay. It's her. It's not me. She makes me. And then they said such a beautiful smile, Nicole. They must obviously be talking about you. So you know that, which leads us to the next question. So that's a confident woman. So what's a competent woman look like? Competent.
I think being competent ties into confidence because competent is not educated. I don't think it means those particular type of things. I just think again it goes into knowing who you are, your identity, your you being an individual and who you are. And again, it's competent in owning who you are. I think that all ties into each other because of course you're competent, so you're smart, you're probably witty, you're probably charming, all of those things. But I think that when you bring them all together, I think it just still goes back to being a confident woman. It's one of the layers associated with having that confidence.
It's a layer to confidence, competence. Do you think that competence has anything to do with content? What is this person? What's on the inside of the person? It's like what I would say. What's the sustenance? Um, what's coming out of that person? Do you think competence has anything to do with content?
Definitely. So I think that with the content, confidence is going to come out. The competitiveness and being competent and confident, all of that is going to come out all tied in together, because again, that's part of one of the layers. So once you have all of the layers, the content is going to come out. So when you do talk or when you do walk, it's all there for you. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can walk in a room and no one says anything, but again, and then when they do talk, the content ties into the look, the makeup, the character, the individual.
I like it. I like it because content is extremely important because there are so many women who there's like this fine line, Nicole, when we talk about confidence,
Right.
and just one wrong move to the right or to the left can either take it to cocky or conceited.
Right.
How do we decipher or determine if someone is just confident and not cocky, or if someone is just confident and not conceited?
I think it goes back to what you said about content. I think that when you do talk or your content is released, however you do that, I think it comes out a certain way. Confident people don't need to be braggadocious or arrogant or anything like that. Other people pat you on the back for your accomplishments, who you are, what you have, and what you bring to the table. True people who are truly confident don't need to toot their own horns. So for me, I just feel like when you present yourself in your package and you walk out there in your brand, someone's going to recognize you and identify you for whatever that looks like.
Your brand. Okay, I like it. So then let's see if we can weave some consistency and some continuity in this because you're saying so much and it's making so much sense. And the consistency and the continuity then equates to somebody being comfortable.
Correct.
Now they get comfortable in their skin. Now, what does a woman to you look like who's comfortable in her skin without being cocky or arrogant? Because we understand the difference between confident and not being cocky. But what about being comfortable and not being? Matter of fact, I'll take it a different direction. Sometimes when a woman is comfortable in her skin and she knows who she is and she doesn't have time to be bothered with nonsense and mess, we often hear she's stuck up. How do we determine or decipher between being comfortable in your skin and somebody saying she's stuck up?
I think that a woman who's done the work for herself, she doesn't need to be validated by anybody. So when you've done the work and you don't need to be validated, I just think that again, the way that your delivery is, everything is delivery. I can say a statement, another person can say a statement, but the delivery is what people are going to receive. So I think again, it goes into knowing yourself, doing the work, not needing to be validated by anyone else. I just think it speaks volumes of you as a woman.
Without having to have validation. You do what you do from your own premise. You do what you do from your own stance. And irregardless to what people think or what people say, you're going to still do you because of that first layer, as you put it, the confidence. The second layer, as you put it, the competence. And then this third layer would be the comfortability,
Correct.
which now we get sexy, we get classy, and then we get badassy. Some people don't know how to take a badass woman. They just don't. And we're gonna talk about that when we come back because badassy does not always equal somebody who's mean. It doesn't always equal somebody who is arrogant. It's just that being comfortable. When we come back, we're gonna talk about that. When we come back, we're gonna take a short break here. We're gonna listen to some music, and we're gonna come back.
It's where all the players hang at, the parking lot. Some of you call it the parking lot. However, we can catch them coming in or going out. Excuse me, miss. We try to get at it later, just so you can meet me at your house, your friend's house, the Waffle House. Anywhere but my house, cause I'm too cool for that. Can't send you flowers, can't buy you wine. So where do we go from here? I won't take you on a cruise. around the world. So where do we go, my dear? It's like the more I don't give, the more you take. That makes me way too clean, way too cool for you. So where do we go from here? Vacation, separation, relocation. Way too cool for you. I'm too cool for you. You can catch me posted. Me and my dog, Big Rob. So where do we go? Where do we go? If you allow me to drop this line on you, baby, I'll let you know where we can go, my dear. We'll take it slow and easy. Let's take it step by step, inch by inch, kiss by kiss. Vacation, separation, relocation. I'm sick like a dope fiend. Too cool, way too cool for you. I'm way too cool, way too cool for you. You'll be mine. Spell it out for us. Allow me to introduce myself, baby.
All right, and we are back with Reggie's Recess. So listen, some of you are joining us today on Facebook Live. We certainly appreciate you being on Facebook Live. Some of you will catch us tonight on 87.9 Heat FM Charlotte. We certainly appreciate week after week. You tune in week after week on 87.9 Heat FM Charlotte. We come on every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 87.9 Heat FM Charlotte, which is 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Some of you will watch us on the Win Network, and some of you will even catch us on YouTube. So, however you see us, we certainly appreciate you um, tuning in to Reggie's Recess. We just saw Mike Lane, the group Microwave. Most people know him from the hit song Instant Replay back in the 80s. That song says, "Where do we go from here? I'm too cool for you." And there are sometimes, when men come across as being too cool for you, that's when that confidence kicks in, that competent kicks in, and that comfortable in your own skin because of that, just that very thing. A man thinks I'm too cool for you. So, Nicole, before we went to break, we were talking about that badass woman and how sometimes men take this badass woman as, she's arrogant. And so how do we look at this? Because I think personally, I think a badass woman is kind of sexy. I do. I think a badass woman who knows she's bad. I don't take it as being um, arrogant. What do you think about this badass woman? Because women nowadays are coming into their own. They're bosses. They'll let you know in a minute. I'm a boss B.
Right,
They'll let you know in a minute,
right.
for the sake of not having to say the word, but those of you out there, you know what I'm saying. So what do you think about this bad ass stance that women are taking these days?
I think that there are a lot of bosses, like you're saying. A lot of us are evolving in droves. I think the challenge is it's a myth. I don't think that women who are bosses don't think they need men or they don't want men. I just think that's something that they believe. I just think there's a certain type of man who's going to be able to work well with the boss. So it's just a personality, a character. And if that's not the right man, you just have to wait and find that particular person because now you're unique. You're not like all the other women, right? You now have another level of you that's not typical. So that's not normal for most men. So I think that they're not quite sure how to approach it. But as a woman, I think it's our responsibility to help them to do that if we want a man.
To help them to become what?
Help them to understand what a boss is.
Okay.
A boss is a woman who still wants and loves a man and
Okay.
wants and needs one. You know what I mean? So they think that because you have your own, because you've arrived per se, that now you don't need them. That's so far from the truth.
But I think that there is a demarcation line though when you talk about wanting and needing. I think that when a boss woman is at a certain level, social economic status, however, she's accomplished and she's accomplished so much. That's what makes her a boss B or a boss or a badass. But does she? Is it that she doesn't really need a man, and sometimes it comes across in her countenance that she doesn't need a man, but maybe she just wants him.
Correct.
Would
I,
you say that's true?
I say that's 100% true because think about it. You're accomplished. You've arrived in your mind, your business is a success or your career or education, whatever your level of success is as a woman. Let's say you just wanted to have home ownership. Now you have a home. Guess what? You might be in it alone by yourself. Your children may be gone, maybe small. You still want companionship. You still need companionship. So material things or financial wealth has nothing to do with wanting or needing a man. I mean, it one has nothing to do with the
Yeah.
other one.
So it's not so much that she needs it; it may just be more of a want. Right. You know, we're doing it. Why I got this confident, competent, and comfortable is we're doing a event for women that we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate women who are confident, competent, and comfortable, which are sexy, classy, and badassy. So we're doing an event we're looking for 12 powerhouse Nevada ladies. One of those, you could be one of those 12 powerhouse Nevada ladies, but we're looking for 12 powerhouse. I don't know, that may be nepotism because we're related, so they may say, oh, they cheated because she. So anyway, but we're looking for 12 powerhouse Nevada women to represent the first annual Sexy Classy Badass in 2022 calendar. We're looking for ladies that are from the age of 35 to 65 young. They have an opportunity to be a part of history in the making because this is going to be the very first Sexy Classy Badassy calendar, 2022. So we're asking, are you sexy? Are you classy? Or are you badass? And if so, we want you to register because we want to celebrate you. This is all about empowering you. And you can go to sexyclassyandbadassy.com. Go to sexyclassyandbadassy.com. Register. Registration is only $49.99. And a portion of the proceeds will go to women who have gotten caught up in sex trafficking. So a portion of the proceeds will go to women who have gotten caught up in sex trafficking. We want to be able to provide, some hope, and hopefully there'll be a haven for those women who have gotten caught up in sex trafficking. So if you feel you're sexy, if you feel like you've got what it takes, go to Sexy, Classy, and Badassy and register today. And that was our whole goal. So we're going to celebrate Nicole. Who those 12 out of those 12, one will be selected to grace the cover of 2023. How is that one going to be selected? It's going to be selected because we want the audience who gets the calendar to pick their favorite month. Once they pick their favorite month, she's going to be celebrated in 2023. I see you over here smirking. What are you smirking? Smirking for? Because I see you've got some. As long as you continue to make time for the fam and relationship, you can be a boss baddie all day. You have to. Okay, I like that word, boss baddie. That's you have to incorporate boss boss baddie, because boss baddie is a combination of what bad assy and bad, right? The two is Combine them
That's what
together.
it sounds like to me,
Daddy,
right?
boss. Okay, I like it. Good job.
Okay, Tamia Johnson, we see you.
Thank you for that. You just gave us some new words, a new word to add to our Ebonic glossary. Okay, Batty, we love it. So Nicole, those attributes though, when you see a woman who possesses those attributes, um, you know how sometimes women in particular turn their nose up to another woman. What does that mean? What comes out of you? Because I know you're not a hater, and there's some that do. When you see a woman that possesses those attributes, what do you feel?
Well, the first thing is a woman who has to give someone else another woman's life is shame. So when I see somebody else, I like to let go. Just like when you were talking about, I want to get to know you. You always learn something from somebody else if you're open to them. They help you to evolve more, help you to grow, help you to see things in a different light. So for me, being around other powerful women, that just makes me feel good.
I love it because you know what that means. It makes you feel more powerful because you are confident. And I think somebody who's not as confident wouldn't feel that same way. So I got a new segment that I started on this show. Nicole.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I got a new segment that I started on this show, and I will allow my guests because the new segment is called Reggie's Relationship. So with Reggie's relationship recipe, I give you the opportunity to ask me any question that comes to your mind about dating and relationships. So I'm going to let you ask me a couple of questions, and we're going to see if we can create a recipe based off of the questions that you asked me. So, what's your first question? Do I need to give you a moment to think about
Ladies, do you all have any questions that you
it?
would like me to ask them specifically?
Throw something in the chat. We'll go there. We'll go. Well, let's go with you while the chat room is
While
over
we're
here. Let's
doing
go with
that,
your
let's
first. Let's see
see.
what's your first question.
In my personal experience, I find that women our age range are now dating outside of their race.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on women now dating more so than ever outside of their race?
Okay. So I think I think that we have progressed. We've made progress in a lot of areas, and then we've digressed in a lot of areas. And I think when I say we've progressed in a lot of areas, I think humanity as a whole has opened up more to interracial dating. But we've digressed because although we've opened up to interracial dating, there are still some cultural issues that we can't ignore. Culturally, I don't even know that what you may find funny, they may not find funny. Depends on who you're dating and their background. Um, so we've got some cultural issues that we have to go into a relationship with someone from another race, knowing that we've we've been places that they haven't been. They've been places that we haven't been. We've done things they haven't done. We've lived a certain way that they haven't lived. They've lived a certain way that we haven't lived. So, from a background perspective, we have to go in open minded. I think the problem, though, for some interracial couples is although they embrace the two spirits connecting, they don't always open up to the understanding though that we've come from two different backgrounds. And so culturally, they'll never understand because even when you take it as simple as um, well, we all have the same opportunity. That's not correct. We don't all have the same opportunities. We haven't always had the same opportunities. And even today, the opportunities that we have is not the same depending on who we're talking about. So, and I think when you get into those serious conversations with someone from another race and you're dating, they don't always understand where you're coming from because in their mind they think the opportunities are the same, and it's not. So now, how do you get past that? It's again, you got to be open minded enough to accept and embrace where you've come from and be open minded enough to say, okay, I didn't know that because it can be a journey. I can take you on a learning experience and you can take me on a learning experience, but am I willing to accept what I'm learning from you and are you willing to accept what you're learning from me? And so sometimes it's not accepted because we have our own conscribed plans in our mind that this is what it is. And so if it's not accepted, it's going to be a problem. So now you're hitting a brick wall. And you keep hitting this brick wall. You wonder why we keep going back to the same place over and over again because they don't understand. Does that make sense? Um, any other questions you may want to shoot out there?
Looks like there's one in the chat.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is there a difference between having deal breakers and limitations? Yeah, I like that question because one of the things that I tell women to do and people in general to do is one, I tell you to write down put three columns on a piece of paper when you're wanting to move forward in regards to doing the work with yourself. Because in order to have a healthy relationship, you have to do the work on you. And doing the work on you have to figure you out. And the first question you should ask yourself is, would you date you? And you ask and be serious about your answer. Would you take you out? And would you love you? And then when you ask yourself those questions, it's going to determine now, I need to write down because I need to figure out then what works for me. And the only way I'm going to figure out what works for me is I got to like me, I got to love me. Because if I don't like me, nobody else is going to like me. And if I don't love me, nobody else is going to love me. So once I like and love me, then I determine who I want to bring into my space. So there, I want you to write down your deal makers, your deal breakers, and then your absolute non-negotiable. So I think there is limitations and deal breakers can somewhat be in the same category, but then you have some absolute non-negotiable. Those are just absolute positivity. I just can't. You got an absolute non-negotiable. One that don't work for you. That's an absolute non-negotiable.
That's just not who I am. But
And for some, you probably feel the same way. So you write down what your deal makers are, the thing that's going to work for you based off of the work that you've done on yourself. So now you understand what it takes to like you, what it takes to love you, because you've taken the time to figure that out for yourself. Your deal maker. And then you get to your deal breaker. Deal breakers. These are deal breakers as if we are starting something and we have an encounter, these are things that are just I can't continue, I can't pursue this. But then before you even pursue, you already know what your absolute non-negotiables are. So you ask the right questions on the front end so that you can discover, oh yeah, these are good. What makes you unique? So most people like talking about themselves. So they don't talk about themselves. And you're gonna learn so much about that person while they're talking about themselves. One lady said, "Date for purpose, not pleasure." But I think date for pleasure, and then it might turn into purpose. What do you think, Miss Nicole? Go ahead, Nicole. They ask you what you think.
well, I think it's individual specific because I think that if you know who you are and what you're looking for, I think it's okay to date with pleasure first if that's what your choice is. I think for women it's a little tricky because when we say that we're dating for pleasure, we're emotional. So then that pleasure that we're having then turns into something that maybe the person that you're having pleasure with is not ready to give you. And then now you're emotionally in your feelings because each time you give somebody a piece of you, it's like they own you. So think about that. So, women, we don't operate the same way that men do. Men can date for pleasure 10 times a day, right? They can do whatever they need to do. But for a woman, it's not quite the same. So I think you can start off in that manner, but I think we generally lose in the end when we start.
So here's what I would say to that. I think that life is meant to be lived with purpose. So when you live life with a purpose. And once you understand your purpose behind why you're doing what you do and why you're living, because everything has a purpose. Um, this show has a purpose. What's the purpose of the show? The purpose of the show is to empower those who will listen to us today, talk to those about being confident, competent, and comfortable. Our car has a purpose. What's the purpose of the car? To get us from point A to point B. This microphone has a purpose so people can hear us. So everything has a purpose. So life as a whole is meant to be lived. It's what we call a purposeful life. You do things with purpose. So when you get focused on understanding your purpose, or the key essence of why you exist, so that you get the full meaning of your purpose, then the pleasure will happen because you understand your purpose. So they will end up colliding and clashing. They will end up coming together because you're purpose driven anyway. And so because you're purpose driven, you're doing what you do with the purpose. And if your purpose behind it is getting to the point of having pleasure, then both can work. They'll both match. You agree?
I totally agree. And you just explained that with detail. You should have the audience listening.
So we hope. Listen. So listen. Here's my recipe for today. Because I'm taking all the ingredients. The first recipe that we're going to take is just be patient. Being patient means you have the capacity to accept or tolerate delay. Be patient. A lot of people have problems with being patient. So the first ingredient is patience. But the second one is you got to be persistent. Being persistent means firm and you're on a course. And you don't let anybody allow you to deviate, and you don't, stray from the course you're on, because there's a persistent in you that creates a tenacity. So be patient, be persistent. First ingredient is patience. Second ingredient is persistent. And then the third ingredient is don't be pushy. Because I think when we get to a certain place in our age, a lot of times we become impatient and therefore we become a little too pushy. And we're trying to make something happen that should never happen. We're trying to make something fit. And so now it becomes a force to fit, because their old song said, if it don't fit, don't force it. But we try to force something that don't fit, right? So don't be pushy. Being pushy means excessive or unpleasant self-assertiveness. Don't be pushy. But here's the one out I like. This is we talked about doing the work, doing the work. One is be polished. What would it be like for this man that you now come and you're not polished enough to receive it? You're not even ready to receive it. Polished don't mean that you always dot all your I's, you always cross all your T's, but you do your best to dot all your I's and you cross all your T's. So polished just simply means the ability to be accomplished and skillful. So you want to be polished. Doesn't make you somebody say, oh my God, you're so oh my God, you just put yourself together so well. How does that make you feel when somebody tells you that?
It makes me feel as if that's a superpower. How about that's just the way you're supposed to be? Why do you need to recognize or identify that? I think it's a little insulting, really, right? Shouldn't you be articulate? Shouldn't you be who you are?
You should, and I like what you said and how you said that. You should be, or so many aren't, because so many don't take the time to do the work to become that. And for some, maybe that's not their agenda. For some, maybe they don't want to be that. But when you have taken the time and you've done the work to be that, and when somebody says that, what they're doing is they're recognizing the work that you've done. I don't think they're insulting. I think they're recognizing the work that you've done because you've taken the time and you put thought behind what you say. You put thought behind how you structure your sentences. You put thought behind what you're going to say in a sentence so that it comes across and is received extremely well. You can take that into a relationship, the same thing. That's why you should never say words that you can't pull back. Because once you say those words that you can't pull back, oh my God, that's it. You know they ride those words out, and it's always back there in their subconscious because you called them this. You said that they really want to know. I wonder if you really think that's what I am. You should never use words that you cannot pull back. So here's our ingredients for the day. First ingredient is be patient, be consistent. Second ingredient, don't be pushy. Third ingredient, and then fourth ingredient is be polished. Be polished. Nicole, what do you think about when a female comes out of the house, and she's always looking good? I just feel like that's a confident woman. I just feel like that's a confident woman. I feel like that's a woman who's comfortable in her skin. And even if she puts a baseball hat on, she still, looks good in her own way because of her confidence, her confidence, and being confident.
I totally feel that when you come out looking your best, even if you don't feel your best, it helps your psyche, and then it also brings other people towards you to help whatever you're going through. So in my mind, even when I feel low, I look good. No one knows how I feel. They know I look a certain way. That attracts positivity, that attracts energy. So whatever funk you're in at that moment, you have no idea by the fact the way you look and the way that you are, people are going to bring things into you. So you're actually ministering to yourself and to others. Really.
Ministering to yourself and to others. I love it. Listen, she said even when you don't feel good, you look good. Right. Is that what you said?
That's exactly what I said.
Listen, even when I don't feel good, I look good too. I'm just saying. I'm right with you on that.
Well, just so you all know, he dresses up to walk his dog Lulu. Anyone who knows him knows Lulu. He dresses head to toe to walk Lulu.
You think so?
I've seen it. I'm like, oh, where you going? I'm like, oh, I'm just walking Lulu. I'm sure the audience, whoever knows him, they can see that. They know I'm not making it up.
Okay, so I think, I think it's when you leave the house, I think you wanna. My mom always raised to say, always make sure you got on something clean, you look good, because you never know something might happen. If they gotta take you away, at least you look good.
Right? But I think it goes back to what you were saying though, mindset, because your mind is going to dictate everything else about you, right? Professionally, personally, whatever the case may be. So if you look at yourself in the mirror and you think you look good, even if you don't feel it, you're subconsciously going to feel good, even if you don't think that you are. Because imagine looking at yourself at your worst, that's going to make you feel worse than what you are. So for me, it's like, okay, I'm going to put this face on and I'm going to take on the world. I'm going to be that strong woman I am, even though I don't feel like it. Because we don't always feel motivated, right? We don't always feel empowered. You just don't feel like that. But again, it's the mindset, because your mind will take you to places that you just wouldn't have been able to go on your own if you were in a negative place, if you were on the phone, different things like that.
I love it. I love it. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to take another commercial break. Go for a commercial. And if you have not downloaded the Win Network, make sure you do so. We're going to take a commercial break, go to the Win Network, and we'll be right back after this as we wrap up, get close to wrapping up this show, but we'll be right back after this.
Hello. Thank you for watching and being a friend to Reggie's Recess. We're on a mission. Our goal is to empower 1 million women. It costs a great deal of money to keep this mission moving forward. We have created a wonderful opportunity for our viewers and friends to align themselves with us so that we can achieve this goal. Please consider making a conscious decision to be a supporter and sponsor. We have 3 levels.
Silver at $100. You'll receive a C. Reggie Rogers signature one-man woman t-shirt. Gold at $250. You'll receive a C. Reggie Rogers signature one-man woman t-shirt and baseball hat. Platinum at $500. You'll receive a one-man woman baseball hat, t-shirt, a C. Reggie Rogers book and workbook entitled Love at First Spirit.
For your gift to the show and C. Reggie Rogers' #1 relationship coach, you get a piece of the One Man Woman Tour memorabilia. Go to www.creggierogers.com, click on the link Sponsorship or Cash App, $CLOYDROD If you like our merchandise, you can actually order your t-shirts, hats, and books. Go to www.onemanwoman.com.
And so we are back. Nicole, wait, okay, there you go.
Sorry, hi.
We are back. And listen, if you have not gotten a sponsorship, you have not become a sponsor to sponsor Reggie's Recess, take the time to do that today. Go to www.creggierogers.com. That's www.creggierogers.com. Go to there, click on the link that says sponsorship. You can be a silver sponsor, you could be a gold sponsor, you could be a platinum sponsor. Pick one of the levels, and with every level, there's a reward. And so we will make sure you get your reward for picking the level. Even if you just want to get some of our merchandise, you can get our merchandise by going to www.onemanwoman.com. Onemanwoman.com. There you can get our merchandise. You can get your hats, your t-shirts. You can even get our book. If you have not gotten our book yet, make sure you go and get that book, Love at First Spirit. Now, we did the Reggie's relationship recipe. Some of you may be asking, how can I get more? If you want to get me as your coach, your relationship coach, even as your singles empowerment coach, I would be more than happy to be your relationship coach or your singles empowerment coach. And again, how do you do that? You go to creggierogers.com. That's creggierogers.com. There it is right there. And click on the link where you'll see coaching. Okay? Make sure you get there today. Nicole, we've had so much fun talking about confident, competent, and comfortable in your own skin. And I think you're confident. I think you're competent. And I certainly think you're comfortable in your own skin. That makes you sexy. That makes you classy. And that makes you badassy. Tell the women why they need to join and become a part of Sexy, Classy, and Badassy.
I just think that what you and your organization are offering women now is something that I think we've all looked for or looking for. Think about it. Women again have arrived professionally in their careers. They're bosses. They're financially sound. Their assets and everything are in place. But guess what? They're missing a partner. Sometimes we don't know what to do because we've been, trying to go into relationships the same way that we always have. Well, I think that there's a new way of dating. There's new way of women arriving on the scene, and we just don't know what to do. So I think that in being single, you need a little guidance. And so, what people don't know, I have free advice from you every day. We talk every day, at least 6 days a week, right? At least six at a minimum. So I call with free questions, free scenarios, free situations. And then my friends call me and say, can you call your brother and ask him what he thinks about this? And so now I just think that really it's information that women need. And when you do the work, you have to invest in doing the work. And to be a boss, you have to have a coach, right?
Yeah.
I'm a real estate connoisseur. I have a real estate coach. So I don't think I'm an expert at what I do. I'm still being led and guided because I don't have all the answers. I need to be, think about a team. A team has a coach. Everybody has somebody that's leading them. You're not the leader of yourself. We think that we are, but sometimes we make the same mistakes and then we say, but I'm tired. I think I need help. So my point in saying that is I would certainly recommend your services to women because again, I get it for free. And if I had to pay for it, it's certainly well worth it.
Oh, it's good to know that, I might have to give you an invoice and you'd be willing to pay it without a problem.
Just write me off on your taxes.
Hey, we've got some thanks for the transparency today. Look forward to more of these talks. Yes, absolutely. And you look good, you feel good, change the trajectory of your day. I totally agree with that. What else is free advice every day? That's not fair, Nicole. Yeah, that is not fair, Nicole. How can people find you? If people want to find you, you give them your information where people can find you. Maybe somebody wants to get you as a connoisseur real estate agent. With the luxury connoisseur with the high end luxury connoisseur real estate that you do. Maybe somebody's out there and they want to find you. They're looking to buy a house.
Great. Well, if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in the Las Vegas Valley area, my website is ownvegasrealestate.com. Ownvegasrealestate.com. Please also follow me on Instagram at ownvegasrealestate.com. Visit my website. You'll get a direct listing to all available properties in our valley. And if you need to meet me in person, virtually, whatever the case may be, we can certainly set up a schedule a time.
Awesome, awesome. So you guys look her up, and she'd be more than happy to be there with you. I got to send some shout outs too. My producer, the one, the only. His name is Steven Sebo. He makes us look good. He makes us sound good. So consequently, we feel good when we come on air because we feel like we look good and sound good.
We
So,
love you, Steve.
so we got we got Steven Sebo from Action Shot Productions. So this is another Action Shot Productions. Action Shot Productions shoots videos. Action Shot Productions shoots commercials, documentaries, and movies. If you're in the market to have a commercial done, you need to look up Action Shot Productions and Steven Sebo. If you're in the market, you're thinking about even writing a movie, you got the script already done, and you need somebody to shoot the movie, you got Steven over here. If it's a documentary, you got Steven. Whatever the case may be, just a video, Steven is available. So this is another Action Shot Productions. And so we send our shout outs to Steven Sebo. And those of you that are watching us on Facebook, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule today. Thank you so much for the chat today. We had a great chat with you today. We hope that we were able to answer your questions today. And of course, you can still continue to follow us on tonight. We'll be on 87.9 Heat FM Charlotte, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can still follow us tonight if you just want some more. You can also follow us on the Win Network Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Follow us on the Win Network. And we have now enlarged our territory.
Woohoo!
You can check us out on TikTok, but I also come on Monday through Friday on Worldwide Jazz. On Worldwide Jazz, I am on the morning show with the famous Langston Carter, one of the baddest jazz DJs. Everybody knows Langston Carter. So I come on Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 12 noon, and you can go to the Worldwide Jazz Radio, and you'll be able to hear us in the mornings. I just do 3 drops a day. That's it. 3 drops a day, Monday through Friday, but that's on the Worldwide Jazz Radio. So we've enlarged our territory. So you got us on TikTok. You catch us on YouTube. You'll catch us on 87.9 Heat FM, Facebook Live, and and the Win Network. How did I miss the Win Network? So those are all the ways, different platforms that you will be able to catch us. I got to give a closing remark, and my closing remark is simply this. Being a badass woman means rising above the impulse to lift yourself up by tearing someone else down.
Ooh.
A badass woman, they have their own category. They may go against the norm, but that is what makes them a little bit more interesting. And that's what makes them badass. Because being a certified badass does not mean being nasty. It doesn't mean being rude, nor does it mean being mean. You can be extremely nice and still be the perfect badass woman. It's more about the confidence to be who you are and the competence to be who you are and being comfortable in your own skin.
Yes,
We
indeed.
got to go. We'll be back next week. Nicole, I got to bring you back on the show. You going to come back?
Oh, for sure.
Huh?
Yes, yes.
All right, good. I'll bring you back. We're gonna have some fun next time you come back. So listen, look up Nicole. She's a connoisseur, real luxury connoisseur, real estate agent. I'm not even gonna ask her where she got that name from because I love the name, but that's okay. I just happen to have a company called Connoisseur Entertainment. I just happen to have the same name, and I'm not even gonna ask her where she got the name from, but it's all good. We'll be back next week. You guys have a great rest of the week. Hello and welcome to Reggie's Recess, where you get real talk about real relationships. Of course, I am your host, C. Reggie Rogers, renowned relationship coach, author, television host, radio host, podcast host, and I've got... I consider myself a singles empowerment coach. Now, when I say singles empowerment coach, my objective is to literally teach singles or empower singles what it means to become the one so that they attract. You know, breaking up really is so hard. Breakups are never easy for anyone. And so this month, we're going to be talking about It's Over, I'm Sick. So that was the thing that drew me to you, and I wanted to get some advice, some wisdom from you in regards to this dating process.
Yes.
I want to talk about